staring into a mirror in a dimly lit room, chanting a name over and over again. Sound familiar? Almost everyone has heard of the chilling ritual to summon Bloody Mary. It's a rite of passage at sleepovers, a dare whispered between friends, a legend that just refuses to die. But where did this terrifying tale come from? Today, we're pulling back the curtain, dimming the lights, and looking deep into the mirror to uncover the origins of Bloody Mary. The first thing to know is that the Bloody Mary we know today is a mashup of different stories and folklore that have evolved over centuries. The idea of summoning spirits through mirrors, or scrying, is an ancient practice. For hundreds of years, people believed mirrors were portals to another world, capable of revealing the future or connecting with the dead. Young women in the 18th and 19th centuries would perform rituals in front of mirrors, hoping to catch a glimpse of their future husband's face. But there was a dark side to this practice. If they saw a skull instead, it meant they would die before they could marry. This is probably the earliest seed of the Bloody Mary legend, the mirror as a tool for divination that could just as easily show you something horrifying. So, when did this fortune-telling game turn into a full-blown horror story? The transition is a bit murky, but folklorists trace the modern Bloody Mary ritual back to the 1960s and 70s. This is when the name Bloody Mary starts to get consistently attached to the mirror-gazing ghost. But who was the original Bloody Mary? Well, that's where things get really interesting because there isn't just one answer. One of the most popular theories points to Queen Mary, the First of England. She reigned in the mid-1500s and earned the nickname Bloody Mary for her brutal persecution of Protestants. She was also known for having several phantom pregnancies, tragically hoping for an heir that never came. The stories of a bloody queen and her lost children easily blend into the myth of a vengeful spirit who can be summoned. It's a compelling backstory, but there's no direct historical evidence linking Queen Mary to the mirror ritual itself. It seems her gruesome nickname just made her a convenient figure to pin the legend on as it grew. Another major candidate is Elizabeth Bathory, a Hungarian countess from the 16th and 17th centuries. Known as the Blood Countess, she was rumored to have tortured and murdered hundreds of young women, allegedly bathing in their blood to retain her youth. While these tales are likely exaggerated, her horrifying reputation makes her a perfect fit for a blood-soaked phantom. Again, the connection is more thematic than historical, but it adds a layer of real-world horror to the legend. Then there are more localized American versions. One popular story tells of Mary Worth, a woman who was supposedly a witch executed during the Salem witch trials. Another speaks of a woman named Mary, who died in a terrible car accident, her face horribly disfigured. In these versions, chanting her name summons her vengeful spirit, angry about her unjust or tragic death. These local tales help the legend feel more personal and immediate, like it could have happened right in your own town. So you have this mix of historical figures, local ghost stories, and ancient folklore all swirling around. How did it become the standardized ritual we know today? Go into a dark bathroom, look in the mirror, and chant Bloody Mary a specific number of times. This version really exploded in popularity in the latter half of the 20th century. It became a staple of childhood folklore, passed down from older siblings to younger ones at summer camps and sleepovers. The ritual itself is a masterclass in psychological manipulation. First, the setting, a dark, quiet bathroom. This isolates you and cuts off your main sense sight. Then, the mirror. When you stare at your own reflection in low light for a prolonged period, your brain starts to play tricks on you. This is a real psychological phenomenon called the Troxler effect. Your brain starts to ignore the unchanging stimuli your own face and fills in the gaps with distorted, sometimes monstrous images. The face in the mirror might seem to warp, melt, or change into someone else entirely. You're not seeing a ghost. You're seeing your own brain creating a hallucination under duress. Add to that the power of suggestion. When you go in expecting to see something scary, your brain is already primed to interpret any strange shape or shadow as a supernatural entity. The chanting, the repetition of the name, it's almost like a form of self-hypnosis. You're working yourself into a state of fear and anticipation. This psychological element is what makes the legend so powerful and so persistent. It has a built-in proof mechanism. When someone performs the ritual and gets scared, they don't say, "Wow, the Troxler effect is really something." They say, "I saw her, I saw Bloody Mary." They then tell their friends, adding their own eyewitness account to the legend, and the cycle continues. Every generation rediscovers it, tests it, and passes it on, convinced of its reality because of the powerful psychological experience it creates. The popularity of Bloody Mary also got a huge boost from pop culture. The 1992 film Candyman used a very similar premise. Say his name 5 times into a mirror, and he appears. The TV show, Supernatural, has an episode dedicated to the legend. Countless horror movies, books, and TV shows have referenced it, cementing it in our collective consciousness. Each time it appears in a movie, it introduces the legend to a new audience and reinforces its status as a cornerstone of American folklore. So, is the legend still popular today? Absolutely. With the rise of the internet and social media platforms like TikTok and YouTube, the Bloody Mary challenge has found a new life. You can find thousands of videos of people attempting the ritual, filming their terrified reactions for the world to see. It's no longer just a private sleepover dare, it's a public performance. Some of these videos are clearly staged for views, but many capture that genuine self-induced terror that has kept the legend alive for so long. People film themselves screaming at shadows, jumping at creaks in the house, or interpreting a flicker of light as a paranormal event. These videos act as modern-day ghost stories, shared not around a campfire but across a global network. The details might change slightly. Some say you have to spin around. Some say you need a candle, but the core of the ritual remains the same. In the end, the story of Bloody Mary isn't really about a specific ghost. It's about our relationship with fear, the unknown, and even ourselves. The mirror doesn't show us a spirit from another world. It shows us what's already inside our own minds. It reflects our own anxieties and our primal fear of the dark. The true horror of Bloody Mary isn't that a ghost will appear, but the terrifying realization of how easily our own minds can turn against us, conjuring monsters from shadows. It's a nightmare that we create for ourselves, and that's why it will probably never ever die. What do you think? Have you ever been brave enough to try the ritual? Let me know your own stories and experiences in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of history's spookiest legends, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Thanks for watching.